Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei Gets Cheated and Got Married to Irina Part 1. Before we start, please go support Takahashi999 for writing that awesome fanfic. Now let's begin. Chapter 1. Descent into Darkness. The bustling streets of Kuo Academy were bathed in the golden hues of a setting sun, casting long shadows across the grounds. Issei Haidu, the Red Dragon Emperor, walked through the academy's campus, his mind a tumultuous sea of thoughts. His heart weighed heavy, burdened by the unsettling sensation that something was amiss. Issei had always been a passionate and dedicated devil, tirelessly protecting those he held dear. Drake, a powerful and mysterious heavenly dragon, had stood by his side through thick and thin, or so he had believed. However, recent weeks had seen a growing rift between Issei and the orc. Their once intimate conversations had turned into distant, hushed exchanges. The girls had been evasive, always having a convenient excuse to avoid spending time with Issei. It was as if they were slipping away from him, leaving his heart in a state of torment. Issei. Did I do anything wrong? He asked himself. Issei. I know I've been a big pervert lately, but I'm sorry, maybe if I see them again I'll apologize, he said with a determined smile. Drake. Issei, please, I have a really bad feeling about it. Issei. I don't get what you're saying, Drake. I don't really see through what you're saying. Drake. Just follow them, seriously please, something is definitely wrong. Issei. I don't want to seem as an even bigger pervert, but well, you're the boss. Issei decided to go with Drake's advice and follow the girls after going for packs. The final straw came in the form of a fateful encounter. Issei, his heart heavy with suspicion, decided to follow the orc, tracking their movements to a hotel. Issei. What are they doing? Asia. Are you sure Issei isn't going to find out? She said in a scared tone. Issei. What is she talking about? Issei's voice broke as his breathing became rougher. Drake. Partner. Akeno. Really, Issei, of all people, he's very gullible. Look, I'll send him a text telling we had to go kill a stray and promise him we would sleep together. Haha. She giggled at the last part. Issei. Why did she say that? Issei clutched his chest, finding it hard to breathe, despair already starting to form on his face. Drake. Issei, please wait. Rias. But we have to be quick, he should be here by now. Issei. Please don't be what I'm thinking, please. His legs trembled as tears threatened to escape from his eyes. Kaneko. There he is. Issei. No. Please, it can't be, no it can't, why is he here? Rias. Vali, there you are. She rushed and embraced him. Vali. Sorry I was late, I had some issues with my team. He smiled, patting her head. Akeno. We don't care as long as we get to see you. Kaneko. We've been lonely without you, she said with a shy tone. Issei clenched his fist till blood drew. Vali. Don't you have Issei? He said with a smirk. Asia. No, he's just way too much, his pervertedness has reached another level. Akeno. You're more charming, she said, kissing the white dragon emperor. Kaneko. He's disgusting, even the thought of him makes me want to puke. Issei. Your marriage, who helped you? I sold my arm just so Jay could free you. I tried my best to help you after what happened with Rainer. After everything, I can't believe this, I just can't. I even acknowledged your fallen side. You call me disgusting, but I loved both side of you, be a devil or Nakaushu. Greg. Issei, please, I'm sorry. Rias. Let's just book a room. After entering the room, the sight was like a dagger to Issei's heart, twisting and piercing deep. Not too long after they entered the room, moans and lewd sounds could be heard. Betrayal was etched on the orc's face, but they did not know Issei was witnessing this illicit rendezvous. Vali, who had always been a thorn in Issei's side, was now entwined with the girls, sharing stolen moments and forbidden passion. Issei's breath caught in his throat and tears welled up in his eyes. The pain was almost unbearable. His heart, once brimming with love and trust, was now shattered, the shards scattered in the dark corners of his soul. Unable to contain his anguish, Issei turned and left, his world spinning. He didn't confront them. He couldn't bear to. Instead, he wandered the streets aimlessly, grappling with a torrent of emotions: betrayal, rage, and a profound sense of loss. From another point of view, Issei looked no more than a madman. Greg's loud voice echoed in his head, trying to calm him down. Issei. After everything, Greg. Issei. I gave them my all. In that moment, Issei knew he had to confront the orc and Vali, to seek answers and demand the truth. But for now, he was adrift in a sea of despair, haunted by the haunting image of the orc's betrayal. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the world into darkness, Issei's heart remained shrouded in uncertainty, and the wounds of betrayal festered within him. Issei the orc, Issei whispered to himself. Issei, why would they do this to me? The saga of Issei's emotional turmoil and the consequences of this shocking revelation had only just begun. The shadows of secrets and lies loomed over Kuo Academy, threatening to engulf everything he held dear in a tumultuous storm of emotions and conflicts. The moon hung high in the night sky, casting an eerie glow over the forest near Kuo Academy. Issei's mind was a tempest of emotions, his heart heavy with the pain of betrayal. As he sprinted through the woods, the tension within him grew unbearable, threatening to unleash the destructive power of his juggernaut drive. His footsteps pounded on the earth as he raced through the dense trees, his breaths coming in ragged gasps. The images of Rias, Akeno, Kaneko, Zenobia and Asia with Vali swirled in his mind, fueling a torrent of anger and despair. Issei's voice quivered as he muttered to himself, Issei. I can't believe they did this to me. How could they betray me like this? His thoughts spiraled out of control, and the overwhelming urge to unleash his destructive power grew stronger. His anger and pain threatened to push him over the edge. Then he noticed that he was near a fountain, the same fountain where he and Yuma Mono. Yuma? Would you die for me? Those same words echoed in his mind. Issei laughed. He clutched his head with tears dropping. He fell on his knees. Issei. Use and throw away, is that how my life is? I was such a fool. He yelled in nothing but rage. He summoned his sacred gear and smashed the ground, forming a crater. Issei, I have the juggernaut drive, he thought, his eyes wide with desperation. Issei, I can let it all out. Show them the power they underestimated. The forest around him trembled as Issei struggled to maintain control, but the allure of the juggernaut drive, the power that could obliterate everything in its path, beckoned him. Issei, I could make them pay for what they've done, he whispered, his knuckles white from clenching his fists. His aura flared with crimson energy, a manifestation of his inner turmoil. It was at that precipice, on the brink of losing himself to the dark power, that a voice broke through the chaos. Issei's inner turmoil remained as he walked through the quiet forest, Drake's caution echoing in his mind. But the nagging temptation of his juggernaut drive, the dark power that had once consumed him, lingered, and soon, it began to manifest as sinister, whispering voices inside his head. Voice 1. Issei, you have the power to make them all pay for what they did. They betrayed you. Why not show them the wrath of the Red Dragon Emperor? Voice 2. They underestimated you, Issei. They thought they could betray you and get away with it. Use the juggernaut drive to remind them of your true strength. Issei clenched his fists, trying to block out the seductive voices that promised power and revenge. Issei. No, I can't give in to this darkness. I can't let the juggernaut drive take control. Voice 3. Think about it, Issei. The juggernaut drive is your ultimate weapon. With it, you can destroy all those who have wronged you. It's within your grasp. Voice 4. What's the point of being the Red Dragon Emperor if you can't use your power to strike fear into the hearts of your enemies? Issei gritted his teeth, the allure of the juggernaut drive clawing at the edges of his self-control. Issei. I won't become a monster. I won't let my anger consume me. Voice 1. But Issei, think about how satisfying it would be to see their faces when they realize the true extent of your power. The voices continued their sinister coaxing, promising vengeance and the intoxication of raw, unchecked power. Issei. Stop it, I won't let you control me. As he spoke those words, a mental battle raged within him. The evil voices lashed out, their whispers growing louder and more insistent. Voice 2. They deserve to feel your wrath, Issei. You owe it to yourself to use your power. Issei's internal struggle intensified. His heart raced, and the crimson energy of the juggernaut drive threatened to burst forth. Voice 3. Don't be weak, Issei. Embrace the darkness. Let it empower you. But then, amidst the chaos of his mind, a different voice, one of reason and compassion, emerged. Greg. Issei, remember what I told you. You're not defined by your anger, but by how you use your power. Greg's words resonated deep within Issei, providing a lifeline amidst the darkness. Issei's grip on his own identity, his determination to protect and not destroy, grew stronger. Issei. I won't let you take control. I choose to protect, not to destroy. But those words, he resisted the pull of the juggernaut drive and the evil voices in his head. The forest around him fell silent, the sinister whispers fading away, leaving Issei standing firm in the face of temptation. His internal struggle had taken him to the brink, but he had chosen the path of the Red Dragon Emperor to protect and uphold the values that defined him, even in the face of betrayal and darkness. Greg. You mustn't let your anger consume you. The juggernaut drive is a path of destruction, and once unleashed, it's hard to control. You'll hurt the ones you care about. Issei trembled, his internal storm subsiding as Drake's words reached him. Greg. You're the Red Dragon Emperor, and your power is meant for protection, not destruction. Channel your emotions, Issei, but don't let them control you. Tears welled up in Issei's eyes as he took a shuddering breath. He had come dangerously close to unleashing a destructive force he might never be able to contain. Issei. You're right, Drake. I can't lose control like that. I need to find a way to handle this pain and anger without destroying everything. Drake nodded in approval. Drake. That's the spirit, Issei. It's okay to feel anger and pain, but it's how you use that energy that defines you as a true protector. Issei got home to see his two parents watching TV. They got up as soon as they saw him. Issei. Mom, Dad, the two people who would never betray him. Mom. Issei, what's wrong? You look upset. Come on, sit down and let's talk. Dad. Yeah, kiddo, you look down in the dumps. Their tone was filled with nothing but parental love, which made Issei's shattered heart heal up a bit. He sat down. Issei. Mom, Dad, am I a disappointment because of my pervertedness? And please be honest, he said, looking down with his hair covering his eyes. Dad. Kiddo, what's this all about? he said with a raised eyebrow. Mom. Sure, we find some of your perverted antics disappointing, but that doesn't mean your disappointment. Issei, look at you, you're good at computers, things like coding and programming, and the likes. We've seen you when you're writing down some programmings, things only specialists do. You're smart and a very nice person. Dad. We're proud of you, Issei, both me and your mom and your girlfriends. Issei gritted his teeth and the last part. Issei. Mother, father, I love you both, but please do not mention anything about those sluts. They were both taken aback. Issei. Please mom, if you don't want me to kill myself, I don't want anything related to them in this house, please, he said sobbing. Dad, what happened? Issei, please talk to us. What did they do? Issei, they cheated on me, okay, this past few weeks they've been cheating on me with someone I absolutely despise, you could say my eternal rival. Dad. Even Asia. Issei nodded. His mom embraced him. Issei. It hurts, mom, please, it hurts so much, I can't take this. Dad, those sluts, to think I considered her my own daughter, how dare they hurt my son. His dad is always calm, but unfortunately not today. He has never been this angry before. Issei. Dad, I'm fine, maybe I should just go and sleep. Mom. Issei, please, if you need anything call us, okay, she said with a very calm and soothing tone. Issei. Thank you mom, thank you for everything. Issei sat in his room, the dim light of a single bulb flickering in the darkness. His heart was a battlefield, torn between despair and anger, grief and betrayal. He was hunched over, his face buried in his hands, tears staining his palms. Suddenly, a deep resonant voice cut through the silence. Greg. Issei. Greg. It's time to talk. His voice rumbled. Issei looked up, and there, in the dim light, the massive form of Drake materialized before him. The dragon's eyes, a fiery crimson, held a warmth and understanding that Issei desperately needed. Greg, listen. Greg began, his voice a calming presence. Greg, I've been with you for a long time. I've seen you grow from a timid, perverted boy into a powerful Red Dragon Emperor. But there's more to being the Red Dragon Emperor than just strength and battles. It's about resilience, too. Issei sniffled, wiping away his tears, and looked at Drake with a mixture of confusion and longing. Issei. I don't understand, Drake. Why did the orc do this to me? Why with Vali, of all people? Drake sighed, the sound like a gust of wind rustling through leaves. Greg, sometimes, Issei, people we trust let us down. It's a painful reality of life. But you have to remember, it's not a reflection of your worth. Your strength as the Red Dragon Emperor is in your ability to rise above adversity, even when it hurts the most. Issei nodded slowly, absorbing Drake's words. Issei. I just feel so lost, Drake. I thought I knew the orc, that we had something special. I thought I could trust them with my heart. Drake inclined his massive head, sympathy in his eyes. Greg, I know it's hard to fathom right now, but sometimes people are driven by their own desires and insecurities. It doesn't mean you're any less of a person or a devil. In fact, it's in moments like these that you grow and become stronger. Issei pondered Drake's words for a moment. Issei, so, what should I do, Drake? How can I move on from this? Drake's eyes glinted with determination. Drake, you confront your pain, Issei. You acknowledge it, let it wash over you, and then, you use it to fuel your determination. You're the Red Dragon Emperor, a symbol of strength and power. But you're also a person with a heart that feels, and that makes you even more formidable. Issei sighed, his shoulders slumping as he considered Drake's advice. Issei. I suppose you're right, Drake. I can't let this consume me. I have to find a way to move forward. Drake nodded in approval. Drake, that's the spirit, Issei. It's in your darkest moments that your true strength shines. Use this pain to fuel your desire to become even more powerful, both as a devil and as a person. As Drake faded away, leaving Issei to his thoughts, a glimmer of hope began to stir in Issei's heart. He might not have all the answers yet, but he had the guidance of a powerful ally and the unbreakable spirit of the Red Dragon Emperor. And so, the journey of self-discovery and healing for Issei, the Red Dragon Emperor, began a journey that would lead him to confront his pain, embrace his vulnerabilities, and emerge even stronger than before. Issei got up again and looked around the room, seeing all his perverted things. Issei, I need to change. He got up, grabbed everything, posters, arcade games, action figures, DVDs and all that, pictures of everything related to the girls. He threw them into a dumpster before summoning his sacred gear. A tiny ball of red flames shot right out of it, completely turning the dumpster to ashes. Issei. Goodbye and good riddance. Chapter 2. Changes. The devil. In a quiet, solitary moment, Issei sits in a secluded area, contemplating his existence as a devil. His thoughts wrestle with the burden of his past life as a human. As he grapples with these feelings, he has an internal dialogue with himself. Issei. I never wanted any of this. I never wanted to be a devil in the first place. His voice is filled with resentment and self-loathing, the weight of his anger evident. Issei. Being a devil brought me nothing but pain, betrayal, and heartache. It feels like I've been living a lie. He clutches his hands, his nails digging into the ground. Issei. I hate what I've become, what I was forced to be. And I hate those who dragged me into this world of deceit and treachery. Issei's eyes flash with an intense mix of emotions, his inner turmoil on full display. Issei. I've been used, betrayed, and cast aside. It's time I took control of my destiny, free from the chains of being a devil. Despite his inner turmoil, there's a growing determination in Issei's voice, a resolve to redefine himself beyond his devilish past. Issei. I'm going to meet Surziches because if I stay as a devil, becoming a stray would be my next option. As he speaks these words, Issei's grip on his identity tightens. He's determined to find a way to reconcile his past and present, even as he despises the devil within himself. He got up, left the forest and went back home before taking a shower. He then dressed up for school. As he looked in a mirror, one could see the sadness and depression in his eyes. He clicked his tongue before making his way to school. As soon, what happened to Issei? He doesn't look so good. Ignoring the comments, he continued making his way to class. Hey Issei. Issei stopped before turning back to see Kiba. Kiba. Issei, what's going on? You don't look so good. Issei. Why don't you ask that bitch you call Rias and the rest of those sluts in the orc? Kiba was stunned. It took him a while to register all what Issei said. Kiba. Why would you say that? He was baffled. Issei rolled his eyes as he ignored him again and continued walking to class. The school day at Kuo Academy continued as usual, but for Issei, the halls felt emptier, the weight of his recent turmoil pressing down on him. He had withdrawn from most of his friends, Rias, Akeno, Kaneko, and Asia, and the pain of their betrayal still echoed in his heart. As Issei walked through the courtyard, he saw a familiar figure approaching, someone who had always been a source of light in his life, his childhood friend and an angel, Irina Shidu. She had been the only one who hadn't betrayed him or hurt him, and her presence offered a glimmer of solace amidst the darkness. Irina. Issei, there you are. I've been looking for you. Issei turned to see Irina's bright violet eyes filled with concern. Chestnut hair that is usually tied into twintails, each held with a blue scrunchie, her gentle face, and her angelic wings rustled with the breeze. Issei. Irina. He couldn't help but notice the contrast between her warm smile and his own heavy heart. They found a quiet bench beneath the cherry blossom trees and sat down. Irina. Issei, you look so down. What's been bothering you? Issei took a deep breath, his voice trembling as he began to open up to his trusted friend. Issei. Irina, it's just things have changed. I've been betrayed by those I cared about the most. Rias, Akeno, Kaneko, Asia, they've all hurt me. Irina's brows furrowed with genuine concern as she listened to Issei's words. Irina. Betrayed. What happened, Issei? You can talk to me. Issei recounted the painful events, the whispered betrayals and clandestine meetings that had shattered his trust in his closest friends. Issei. Ever since then I've felt so empty. No, that's wrong. I felt so dead inside. I feel no different from when I was skewered by Rainer, but this time 1,000 times worse. Irina. I can't believe they'd do that to you, Issei. It's heart-wrenching to see you like this. Tears welled up in Issei's eyes, and Irina reached out to gently squeeze his hand in comfort. Issei. Irina, don't leave me like they did. Irina. I'll always be here for you, Issei. You know how much I love you. You know that, right? Issei nodded, his voice thick with emotion. Issei. Irina, you're the only one who's never hurt me, who's always been there for me. I don't know what I'd do without you. Irina. We're in this together, Issei. No matter what happens, I'll stand by your side. The two friends sat in silence beneath the cherry blossoms, finding solace in each other's presence. Irina's unwavering support had provided a glimmer of hope in Issei's heart, a reminder that not all bonds were tainted by betrayal. Irina. We'll get through this, Issei. And when you're ready, we'll confront those who have wronged you. Issei managed a small grateful smile. Irina's friendship was a ray of sunshine in his darkest hour, and together, they would face the turbulent path ahead, determined to find healing and resolution. It was during class, Asia sat next to Issei, who was busy doing his best to read. Asia spoke up wanting to communicate with him, but with a very sharp glare Issei sent at her easily stopped her approach. Issei. Don't you dare talk to me. His voice laced with extreme hatred. Asia shocked but still closed her mouth. It was after class. Mitsuda. Yo Issei. Issei turned back to meet his two friends Mitsuda and Motohama. Motohama. Bro, you don't look so good. Issei. I've just been going through some shit lately. Mitsuda wrapped his arm around his shoulder. Mitsuda. I know what to make you feel better. Let's go peek at the kendo club, he said with excitement as he pumped his fist into the air. Issei's hair covered his eyes. Issei. I'm sorry, no. Motohama. Bro, what do you mean by no? Motohama scratched his head. Issei. I'm not into those kind of things anymore. Please guys, I'm hurt please. Mitsuda. Bro, why didn't you say so? No worries, we understand. Motohama. We're still going to be bros. Well, if you have time, let's just go out to make you feel better. Issei. You guys are the best. Thanks. When we go out everything is going to be on me, he said trying his best to smile. Mitsuda. Thanks bro. Motohama. Let's go Mitsuda, let's honor our fallen comrade by peeking on more boobies. Mitsuda. Don't forget the masses for the emperor. Issei laughed. Issei. I guess I can count on them. Greg. That's the worst way to honor an emperor, he snorted. Issei laughed inwardly. Issei. Sorry dude. I just heard that Issei has given up his perverted ways finally. Didn't you hear what he said? Someone hurt him, poor dude. I wonder that too. Time skip. Issei stands in the dimly lit chamber, his heart heavy with betrayal as he faces Rias, Akeno, Kaneko, Asia, and Zenobia. Their faces are filled with guilt as they avoid his gaze. Kiba looked at them in disgust, not believing what Issei said. Same with Gasper. Issei. Voice trembling, I can't believe this. How could you do this to me? Rias, you have truly disappointed me. How could all of you do that? Gasper. But you, this isn't true, right? Rias, tears in her eyes, steps forward, her voice quivering. Rias. Issei, we didn't mean for it to happen. It was a moment of weakness, a mistake. Issei. What bucking mistake? Issei practically roared at them. Akeno, her face pale, adds. Akeno, we were confused, and Vali took advantage of our vulnerability. Issei. You were confused when you called me gullible, right? Basically mocking me, right? Answer me. Akeno. Asia. Issei, please, we're truly sorry. Issei. You would have been more useful as Rainer's sacrifice. Asia, I should have ignored you that day. Tears welled up in her eyes. Issei's clenched fist began to draw blood. Issei, no excuses. You've shattered my trust, my love for you all. Kaneko, her ears drooping, speak softly. Kaneko. Issei, we regret it so much. Please, forgive us. Asia steps closer, her eyes welling up with tears. Asia, we were foolish. We belong to you, Issei. Issei. Move one step closer, I'll bucking kill you. She stepped back in fear. Zenobia joins in. Zenobia, will do anything to make it right, Issei. Please, give us another chance. Issei's eyes are filled with anguish, his mind wrestling with conflicting emotions. Issei. I don't know if I can ever trust you again. This pain is unbearable. Rias, desperation in her voice, pleads. Rias. Issei, please don't do anything drastic. Let's work through this together. Irina. Did you guys for once stop and think about how Issei felt about how much he suffered because of you? Zenobia. Irina. Irina. Don't you ever talk to me again. Zenobia, I wish you died that day when Kakabiel appeared. Rias. Please Issei, we'll do anything, let's just talk. Issei. Then release me, release my evil pieces, give me back my humanity, you bitch. Rias. I can't Issei, I won't, please let's just talk and think about this. Issei, we love you, we really do. Kiba. Can't you see how much you've hurt him? Please give him back his humanity. He just found out that all his time of being a devil, risking his life for you, doing everything just to make you happy, has all been a lie. Please Rias, give him back his humanity. Rias. Please, I'm sorry, I can't. Issei. I guess I have only one choice left. He summoned Ascalon along with his sacred Gia. Irina. Issei, calm down. Asper. Big brother, you don't have to do this. Kiba. Issei, drop the sword please. Akeno. Issei, don't do anything rash. Greg. Partner, what are you doing? He swung Ascalon. Rias. If it'll make you feel better. Then to everyone's surprise, it wasn't it. Rias. Issei. I can't bear this pain any longer. I might die, but I can't continue like this. Issei thrusts Ascalon through his chest, the holy sword piercing his heart. Gasps fill the chamber as he falls to his knees, blood staining his clothes. Blood shot out of his mouth and chest. Kiba. Issei, you didn't have to do this, there could be another way. Kiba yelled with tears in his eyes. He grips the sword's hilt tightly, he then twisted it towards the direction of the evil pieces located not too far from his earth. Irina. Issei. She wanted to run to him, but Issei pushed her. Issei. I don't care, even if I die I'm done with them. Boost, 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 boost. Asper. Issei, stop please. Waves of energy sent all them flying. Issei, drag. Transfer. The power of drag coursing through Ascalon right into his body. Issei. Now then purge. One by one, Issei's evil pieces shatter, disintegrating into nothingness. His body began to spasm as blood shot out of both his wounds and mouth, and the orc trembles with the unleashed power. Rias, Akeno, Kaneko, Asia, and Zenobia rush forward, but it's too late. There was an explosion, and Issei laid in the middle of the orc on his back. His chest had a gigantic hole, his eyes were transparent, not sure if he was alive or not. Smoke emanated from his body. Kiba and Irina fell on their knees. Irina. He didn't deserve any of this, all he wanted was for people to love him, to care for him. An aura of despair and sadness emanated from her. Asia. Irina, calm down. Irina. Shut the buck up, Asia. As she speaks, her grief and sadness begin to manifest physically, and her angelic form undergoes a transformation. Her wings turn dark and shadowy, her aura tainted by the emotions overwhelming her. Kiba eyes widen in alarm as he watches Irina's transformation into a fallen angel. This art belongs to me. Kiba. You fell. Irina gazed at her new wings. Irina. I honestly don't care, Issei. Suddenly the door opened and it was Azazel. Azazel. What the hell is going on, what happened here? After explaining, Azazel. What the buck, Vali, how could he? He then turned to the girl, especially Rias, before landing a very harsh slap on her face. Azazel. How could you? Rias. I'm sorry, she said with tears in her eyes. Azazel. You all disgust me. Kiba. I failed him, I failed Issei because of you. He sneered at them. Akeno. Irina. Be quiet you bitch I whore you lot you crazed hex maniac, she sneered. Azazel. Irina, that's enough. Irina. I've already fallen I don't care I'll say what I want. Azazel. She fell because of him, this is the first time in a very long time someone fell because of this shit where's Roswis where you need her. Roswis had some things to do in Asgard leaving Azazel to sort this issue. A boosted gear materialized on Issei's arm as his broken body was resting on the bed. Greg. I can save him. Asia. Really, Greg. Shut your trap you useless nun if not for me being in this sacred gear, I would have incinerated you all with my flames. Not knowing what to say she kept quiet as tears fell from her eyes. Greg. You girls disgust me like I said now I can save him, but they should not go anywhere near him after he has awakened. Asper. Please help Issei. Tiba. Dreg I beg of you help him. Irina. I'll do anything please just save him. Greg. Like I said I can save him, but not completely if he survives or not it's based on him. Azazel. What do you mean? Greg. His body is badly damaged same with his life force, now that he is now human, even his genetics has been affected, but I have a way I can turn him into a dragon. Irina. Wait dragon. Greg. Yes. Kiba. Then please hurry. Greg. Okay then Azazel, Kiba, Gasper and Irina thank you for what you've done for Issei. They all nodded. Greg. Now then hold on. Asper well Dreg sir how would we know when he is changing? Greg. Trust me you'll know. In the midst of his pain and inner turmoil, Issei clutches his chest, feeling his lifespan rapidly leaking away. He falls to his knees, his vision blurred by the tears of betrayal. Greg's voice echoes in his mind, a flicker of hope. Greg. Issei, you have a choice. I can help you become a dragon, a creature beyond devils and humans. It will save your life, but it's a path with no return. Are you willing to accept it? Issei, struggling to breathe, hesitates. He gazes at the blade Ascalon, a symbol of his past, his love, and his pain. Issei. I choose to become a dragon. Anything to escape this pain and betrayal. Greg's presence envelops him, and a surge of power courses through his veins. Issei's body convulses, and the room is filled with brilliant blinding light. The cocoon manifested where Issei was. Azazel. Leave this place I'll keep seals here just in case now then all of you leave. Chapter 3. In a dimly lit room within the Orc building, Serziches and Graphius stand before Rias, Akeno, Kaneko, Asia, and Zenobia. The room feels heavy with tension, and Serziches' gaze is steely, while Graphius' countenance is a mask of cold anger. Serziches. Rias, I can't believe you allowed this to happen. The consequences of your actions are unforgivable. Graphia. Akeno, Kaneko, Asia, Zenobia, you've not only betrayed Issei, but also betrayed our trust. Rias, her once confident demeanor shattered, struggles to find words to justify her actions. Rias, I'm sorry Serziches. It was a moment of weakness, and I never meant for things to turn out this way. Akeno, normally composed and confident, can barely look her superiors in the eye. Akeno. We were lost, and Vali took advantage of our confusion. Please, Serziches, forgive us. Kaneko, her ears drooping in shame, adds softly. Kaneko Serziches, Graphia, we deeply regret our actions. We understand the gravity of our betrayal. Asia, tears welling up in her eyes, plead. Asia we were foolish, and we heard Issei. But we didn't think clearly at the time. Zenobia, her head hanging in guilt, joins in. Zenobia will do anything to make it right. Please, give us a chance to redeem ourselves. Serziches stern. Serziches. Issei was like a brother to us, and you've torn our bonds apart. I expected better from you, Rias. Graphia's voice carries the weight of disappointment as she speaks to the others. Graphia. Betraying someone we cared about is a grave mistake. You must make amends, if that's even possible. Rias, Akeno, Kaneko, Asia, and Zenobia realize the gravity of their actions, their remorse growing deeper with every word from Serziches and Graphia. Rias. I don't know if we can ever make this right. Issei was someone truly special to all of us. Akeno. We'll do whatever it takes, but the damage is done, and we must accept the consequences. Kaneko, her voice barely above a whisper, utters. Kaneko this pain we brought it upon ourselves. Asia, tears streaming down her cheeks, acknowledges. Asia we have a long road ahead to regain the trust we've lost. Zenobia, determined, adds. Zenobia we must learn from our mistakes and work to become better people. Serziches and Graphia exchange a meaningful glance, recognizing the sincerity in the words of Rias and her companions. Serziches. We'll see what the future holds, but you must remember the gravity of your actions judging from the case Issei might never forgive you imagine when he finds out that Irina fell because of this. He shook his head. Graphia. Issei's fate is now his own. We can only hope he finds the strength to move forward, but from what Azazel told me after he has awakened unless he allows it, I don't want to see you anywhere near him have I made myself clear. They nodded in fear. The room remains heavy with the weight of disappointment and regret as the consequences of their choices become painfully clear. Surzich's and Grafia's anger may have softened, but the trust that was shattered will take time, effort, and genuine change to rebuild. Asia. Where is Irina? Surzich's. After she fell she went to seek guidance with Michael and Gabriel. Grafia. You see what you've done. She snorted before turning back to her husband and disappearing in a magic circle. Irina stands in the ethereal realm of heaven, her once pristine and angelic presence now tinged with the shadow of her fall. Michael, the archangelic leader of heaven, is the first to notice her arrival. His eyes, usually gleaming with divine wisdom, hold a mixture of concern and compassion. Michael. Irina, what has happened to you? You carry the taint of darkness. How did you fall from grace? Irina, her voice heavy with sorrow and the weight of her newfound darkness, takes a moment to gather her thoughts before explaining. Irina. It was Issei, Michael. He shared with me the pain he's endured, the betrayal and heartache. The sadness and grief were overwhelming, and I couldn't bear it. I transformed into a fallen angel. Gabriel, heaven's second in command and a figure of profound wisdom, joins the conversation. Her aura exudes a soothing presence, a balm for Irina's aching heart. Gabriel. Irina, the path of redemption is not closed to you. Heaven's grace is infinite and we must find a way to help you return to the light. To be honest with you, we aren't disappointed, your love for him was so much you fell because of his pain that alone is beautiful. Irina looks from Michael to Gabriel, her eyes seeking answers and a path to forgiveness and healing. Michael, the darkness within you may have grown, but we will not abandon you, Irina. We'll find a way to cleanse your heart and guide you back to the heavenly path. Gabriel. And even if you stay as a fallen we would still treat you the same, Irina. Now that there's peace between the three factions, you could still keep your faith. Irina nods, a glimmer of hope beginning to shine through the shadow of her fall. She knows that her journey to overcome the darkness within. She embraced both of them. Irina. Thank you so much. Gabriel and Michael smiled. Azazel. Vali, what have you done? You've crossed a line that should never have been crossed. Vali. Oh, Azazel, you're finally here to witness my masterpiece. I thought you'd appreciate my handiwork. He said with a smirk. Azazel's face contorts with a mix of anger and disbelief. Azazel. This isn't a masterpiece, Vali, it's a betrayal, a sacrilege. Issei trusted you, and you shattered that trust. You've not only hurt him but have endangered all of us. Vali. You sound just like Issei. Always so righteous. You should be thanking me for showing how weak he was. He said with a nonchalant tone. Azazel's fists clench, his wings quivering with anger. Azazel. Weakness isn't the issue here, it's your recklessness and cruelty. Issei was our comrade, our friend. We were supposed to support and protect each other, not tear each other apart. Vali. Friendship, Azazel. Such a sentimental perspective coming from someone like you. I'm merely pursuing my own path to power, and if breaking Issei will make him get stronger. Azazel's voice grows colder, his anger simmering beneath the surface. Azazel. Power at any cost is a dangerous road, Vali. You're endangering not just Issei but the balance and safety of the entire supernatural world. Vali. That's the beauty of it, Azazel. Chaos is a ladder, and I intend to climb it, no matter the consequences. He said with a smirk. Azazel's eyes flash with a fierce rage. Azazel. Vali, if you continue down this path, you'll become a threat to everyone we care about, including yourself. Vali. I don't care about your concerns, Azazel. I'll do what I must to reach the pinnacle of power. He said in a defiant tone. Azazel takes a deep breath, trying to find a way to get through to Vali. Azazel. Vali, you were once a part of our team, a young man searching for purpose. Don't let your obsession with power blind you to the bonds we've built and the friendships we've nurtured. Vali's expression remains resolute, his eyes locked on Azazel. Vali. Those bonds mean nothing to me, Azazel. I'll continue my ascent, no matter who stands in my way. Azazel, with a heavy heart, realizes that Vali's resolve is unyielding. Azazel. Then we're at an impasse, Vali. You've chosen your path, and I can only hope that one day you'll see the consequences of your actions, and from now on we have nothing to do with each other. I should have left you to your wounds that night. But that, Azazel turns and leaves Vali, the rift between them widening as Vali's pursuit of power leads him further down a perilous and destructive path. Vali scoffed before using his magic circle to disappear. In the aftermath of Vali's actions with Azazel, he went to his team. Before then he has a conversation with his partner, Albion. Albion, a wise and ancient white dragon, is deeply disappointed in Vali's choices. Vali. Albion, it had to be done. Issei was holding us back. He said with a sigh. Albion, his massive white form coiled on the ground, fixes Vali with a piercing gaze, disappointment evident in his eyes. Albion. Vali, I never thought I'd see the day when you'd prioritize power over the bonds of friendship. Vali. You don't understand, Albion. Power is everything. I won't let sentimentality cloud my judgment. Albion's voice takes on a somber tone, a sense of ancient wisdom behind his words. Albion. Power without purpose is empty, Vali. What's the point of becoming strong if you lose your humanity in the process? Vali. Humanity has held me back for far too long, Albion. I won't be limited by it. Albion's eyes narrow as he continues to speak, his voice laced with disappointment. Albion. Vali, you've always been a maverick, but this path you're on will lead you to ruin. True strength is not about abandoning those who care about you. It's about protecting them. There are those before you who followed the same path and got themselves ruined. And what do you mean by humanity? Several white dragon emperors that surpassed you were humans. Vali looks away, his expression conflicted. Vali. I've made my choice, Albion. I won't turn back now. Albion's form shimmers with a profound sadness as he watches Vali walk away. He knows that Vali's relentless pursuit of power has led him down a dark and dangerous path, and he can only hope that one day, his partner will find his way back to the values of friendship and compassion that he has abandoned. Hiroka. Vali, what in the world have you done? You've betrayed Issei and the team. She stepped in front of Vali. Vali. I did what I had to do. Issei was weak, and his weakness was dragging us down. He snapped back at her. Fenrir. This is beyond reckless, Vali. You never asked for our input. We were supposed to be a team. He growled. Vali. Teams are for those who can't stand on their own, Fenrir. I'm pursuing power, and I won't let anything or anyone hold me back. Arthur. When we formed this team we wanted to get stronger together. We fostered relationship with each other. But I know you're part Lucifer and all that, but you took it too far. Did Issei deserve any of these? Bhikkhu. You've lost your way, Vali. We can't follow someone who values power over friendship. Even Bhikkhu became angry. Vali. Friendship is overrated. Power is the only thing that matters. The Fae. Vali, you were like a brother to us. We believed in you. But what you did to Issei was unforgivable. Vali's eyes narrow as he retorts. Vali. Believe what you want, La Fae. I would not apologize for my choices. La Fae. You've hurt all of us, Vali. You've destroyed the bonds we had. We can't trust you anymore. Vali, trust is a weakness, La Fae. It's time to move forward without sentimentality. He said coldly. Arthur, Huss, eyes filled with disappointment, addresses Vali one last time. Arthur. Vali, you've left us with no choice. You're no longer a part of this team. We can't support your reckless pursuit of power at any cost. Vali, realizing the consequences of his actions, responds with a hint of regret. Vali. If that's your decision, then so be it. I'll continue on my path alone. The team watches Vali depart, leaving behind the bonds they once shared, now shattered by his relentless pursuit of power. In their eyes, it was a painful but necessary decision to part ways with someone who had lost sight of the true value of comradeship and friendship. In this scenario, Issei remains trapped within a cocoon as he undergoes his dragonification process. Irina approaches the cocoon, her voice gentle and soothing as she speaks to him through the encased door. Irina. Issei, I know you're in there, and I know you can hear me. I just want you to know that I'm here, right by your side. Her words, like a gentle caress, reach Issei within the cocoon. He listens, his emotions swirling beneath the surface. Irina. I've seen the darkness, the pain, and the struggle you've faced. But I've also seen your strength and your determination to protect the ones you love. Issei, though cocooned and unable to respond, feels a sense of comfort in Irina's words. Her presence is a lifeline in his dark and uncertain journey. Irina. We've faced challenges together, and we've celebrated moments of joy. I believe in you, Issei, and I know that the dragon within you can be a force for good. Irina's voice trembles with a mix of hope and determination. Irina. You're not alone in this, and when you emerge from that cocoon, we'll face whatever comes our way together. As she finishes speaking, Irina gently places her hand on the cocoon's surface, hoping that her words, filled with love and unwavering support, will reach Issei and help guide him through the transformation and the uncertainties that lie ahead. Issei's transformation into a dragon is a complex and arduous process, filled with physical and emotional challenges. As he's cocooned within the chrysalis of his dragonification, he undergoes a profound metamorphosis. Inside the cocoon, Issei's body is racked with pain, his every muscle and bone shifting and reshaping. His skin shimmers with an otherworldly light and scales begin to emerge, covering his body in a protective armor. With each moment, he grows closer to his final draconic form. Issei clenches his teeth, his face contorted with agony as he grapples with the overwhelming sensations coursing through him. His fingers elongate into claws, and his wings, though still vestigial, show signs of further growth. Throughout the transformation, Issei's mind is a battleground. The emotional turmoil he experiences is just as intense as the physical changes. Doubt and fear plague him, along with the lingering pain of his past betrayal. Yet, a glimmer of his true self remains. Flickers of his determination, his loyalty, and his love for those he cares about are what keep him going. It's a fierce internal struggle between the darkness and the light within him. Slowly, as the process continues, a sense of calm begins to wash over Issei. He starts to accept the power that's surging through him, recognizing that it can be a force for good. But the final surge of energy, the cocoon cracks open, revealing Issei's new draconic form. His wings spread, and he steps out of the cocoon, fully transformed into a powerful dragon. His eyes, once filled with uncertainty, now radiate strength and determination. Issei, the Red Dragon Emperor, has emerged from his transformation, ready to embrace his new destiny and use his power to protect those he loves. Issei, upon completing his transformation into a dragon, as the name suggests, his scales are a deep, vibrant shade of brown, giving him a striking and majestic appearance. He is a Western-style dragon, featuring a powerful and muscular body with large wings that allow him to soar through the skies with grace and agility. His eyes, now a fierce shade of emerald green resembling drake, exude a sense of power and determination. The Red Dragon Emperor's physical form is a reflection of his fiery nature and his determination to protect those he cares about. He possesses formidable strength, enhanced physical abilities, and a variety of powerful abilities associated with dragons, making him a formidable force in the supernatural world. Drake used his magic to suppress his height so he doesn't destroy the entire school before turning him back to a human. Issei covered in some kind of goofballs on his butt. Issei finds a quiet moment to have a profound conversation with his partner and the spirit within him, Drake, about his new dragon transformation. Issei: Drake, it's been quite a journey, hasn't it? I've become a true dragon. Drake: indeed, Issei. Your transformation was not an easy process, but you've emerged as a powerful and noble dragon. Issei: it's also overwhelming, though. I feel this incredible power within me, but I also feel the weight of responsibility. Drake: that's the nature of being a dragon, Issei. Power and responsibility go hand in hand. But I have faith in you. You have the heart to use this power wisely. Issei: I want to protect everyone I care about. I feel even more of myself than a human and a devil. Drake: that's an honorable goal, Issei. Embrace your dragon nature, for it carries a legacy of strength, wisdom, and ability. Issei: I'll strive to be a force for good, to protect and help others. But I'll need your guidance, Drake. He said with a determined tone. Drake: I'm here to guide and support you, Issei. We are partners, bound by fate and destiny. He encouraged Issei. Issei: I don't want to forget my humanity, though. I want to remain true to myself and my friends. Drake: your humanity is your strength, Issei. Embrace it, for it will be the moral compass. Issei opens up to Drake about the deep-seated anger and resentment he still harbors toward the girls who betrayed him, now intensified by his dragon temperament. Issei: Drake, I can't help but feel a burning rage whenever I think about what Rias, Akeno, Kaneko, Asia, and Zenobia did to me. He said with a gritted teeth. Drake: it's natural to feel anger, Issei, especially given your temperament as a dragon. But you must find a way to channel that anger into something productive. Issei: I know, but it's like a fire that won't die down. The betrayal cut so deep, and now it feels even worse with this dragon nature. Drake: your anger can be a powerful force, Issei. It can drive you to protect and seek justice. But don't let it consume you. Use it as a tool, not a burden. Issei: I'll try, Drake. I don't want to be consumed by hatred, but I also can't simply forgive and forget. He said with a clenched fist. Drake: balance is key, Issei. Remember that you have the potential for great compassion and heroism within you. Let that guide you as you navigate these complex emotions. Issei: I will. I'll find a way to make peace with my past and move forward. Drake: that's the spirit, Issei. The path of a dragon is not without challenges, but I believe you have the strength to overcome them, but that doesn't mean you should be weak or emotional towards them. Issei laughed. Issei: of course, Drake. But Issei, there are things I want to tell you now. Drake takes a moment to discuss the perks and advantages of Issei's new dragon nature, helping him appreciate the benefits of his transformation. Drake: Issei, being a dragon comes with a wealth of perks and advantages. It's not just about power, but also about the unique abilities that set dragons apart. Issei: curious, tell me more, Drake. I want to understand the full extent of what I've gained. Drake: well, first and foremost, you now possess incredible physical strength and endurance. Your scales provide a natural armor that's highly resistant to many forms of damage. Issei: that's a huge advantage in battles, isn't it? Drake: absolutely. Your ability to breathe fire or other elemental attacks can be a game changer. Your breath is a formidable weapon. Issei: what about flight? I've always dreamt of flying. Drake: you can soar through the skies with your wings, which gives you unparalleled mobility and tactical advantages. And don't forget your enhanced regenerative abilities. You can recover from injuries much faster than before. Issei: I've noticed my senses are sharper too. Drake: yes, your senses have been heightened. You can detect magic and energy more accurately, which is essential in this supernatural world. Issei: I've also felt a powerful aura emanating from me. Drake: your draconic aura can weaken and intimidate your opponents. It's a reflection of your power and presence, and you've also unlocked the true power of draconic energy, which is stronger than demonic energy. Issei: But how does it affect my sacred gear? Greg takes a moment to explain how Issei's control over the boosted gear, his sacred gear, has improved in his new dragon form. Greg. Issei, your transformation into the Red Dragon Emperor has significantly enhanced your control over the boosted gear. It's now more in sync with your dragonic nature. Issei. How so, Dreg? He said in an intrigued voice. Greg. You see, the boosted gear's power has always been connected to your emotions and desires. As a dragon, your emotions are more intense and your willpower stronger. Issei. So, my emotions can affect the boosted gear's abilities more directly. Greg. Exactly. Your heightened emotions can influence the boosted gear, allowing you to unleash more power and use it more effectively. It responds to your determination and convictions. Issei. That sounds incredible. It means I can push my limits even further. Greg. Indeed, Issei. You now have the potential to unlock new forms and abilities within the boosted gear, especially in times of great need. Issei. And what about controlling the scale of my boosts? Can I be more precise with it? Greg. Your control over the boosted gear's power and the scale of your boosts has improved. You can tailor your power to suit specific situations, whether it's a small boost for a precise maneuver or a massive surge for a decisive attack. Issei. Damn, that's awesome, I should have been a dragon instead. Greg takes a moment to explain to Issei why he couldn't turn him into a dragon before and why it was fraught with danger. Greg. Issei, I want you to understand why I couldn't turn you into a dragon earlier. While it might seem like a great power, there are immense dangers associated with this transformation. Issei. What kind of dangers are we talking about, Dreg? He asked curiously. Greg. First and foremost, the process of turning a devil or human into a dragon is extremely risky. It's not something to be taken lightly. It can lead to physical and mental instability, even loss of self. Issei. So, I could have lost who I am? Greg. Yes, there's a real danger of losing your humanity, your sense of self, and becoming a feral creature. The process requires an incredible level of control and balance. Issei. I see, so it's not just about gaining power, but about preserving who I am. Greg. Precisely. The transformation also carries the risk of tapping into your darker instincts and emotions, which can lead to destructive behavior. You would be no different from your juggernaut drive or an evil dragon. Issei. So, it's not just about gaining power, but also about managing it responsibly. Greg. That's correct, Issei. I wanted to make sure you were ready and had developed the right mindset to handle the immense power and responsibilities that come with being a dragon. Issei. I appreciate your caution, Dreg. I understand now why it couldn't happen earlier. It's not just about power, it's about balance and control. Greg. I'm glad you understand, Issei. It's crucial that you harness this power responsibly and in harmony with your humanity. Issei. So, being a dragon comes with a host of perks, not just physical but also tactical advantages. Greg. Indeed, Issei. You have the potential to be a force to be reckoned with in this world. It's all about how you use these perks for the greater good. Issei. I'll learn to wield this power responsibly, Dreg. It's not just about me, it's about protecting the ones I care about. Greg. That's the spirit, Issei. With your determination and the perks of being a dragon, you have the tools to make a significant impact. Issei's conversation with Dreg sheds light on the various advantages of his dragon nature, helping him better understand the extent of his newfound abilities and how he can use them to protect and make a difference in the supernatural world. Chapter 4. New Issei met with the side of Issei, now fully transformed into his dragonic form, standing there naked and radiant. Their romantic reunion is filled with love, but the revelation of why she fell casts a shadow of anger on Issei's face. Irina. Issei, you've completed your transformation. She embraced him. Issei smiled as their eyes met. Issei. Irina, you're here. I'm so glad to see you. They embrace passionately, their feelings for each other intensifying in the moment. Issei. Irina, I love you so much. Thank you for always being by my side. Irina. I love you too, Issei. I could never stay away. She said with tears in her eyes. But as the intensity of the reunion softens, Issei's senses picked up something different about Irina. His gaze turns to one of realization and anger. Issei. You fell because of me, didn't you, Irina? I can't believe this. You've always wanted to be an angel, and you were so happy after becoming one, and I took that from you. He said with guilt. Irina. Issei, I wanted to be here with you. Issei, please, I don't care. My real dream is to be by your side, and if I have to be a fallen to do that, I don't mind, and plus we could do those perverted things now, right? Issei. Please don't say that, Irina. You took a dangerous risk because of your love for me. I can't bear the thought of you putting yourself like that. Irina. Issei, I'm so sorry. Issei. Irina, I'm supposed to protect you, and I've failed. I've failed as your boyfriend. I ruined your life as an angel. She reaches out and touched Issei's face before giving him a kiss. Irina. Issei, you're not a failure. You're my hero. We'll face this together. Issei's anger at himself is evident, but Irina's love and support shine through as they embrace, facing the challenges and uncertainties of the future as a united couple. They embraced each other before a coughing sound was heard. Azazel, the former governor of the fallen angels, and Issei, the newly transformed Red Dragon Emperor, reunite in Issei. Azazel-sensei, it's been a while. Azazel. Issei, my boy, you've truly become something extraordinary. I couldn't be prouder. Issei. Thanks, I guess I don't even know what to say. Azazel, I think it would be better after you put on some clothes. He chuckled. Both Irina and Issei blushed after realizing he's naked. Azazel threw him a shirt and pants. Azazel. You'll need this. She looked away shyly as Issei changed. This art belongs to me. Azazel. Looking good. Irina. You look even more handsome. Issei. Really, thanks. Azazel. So how does it feel to be a dragon? Issei. Thoughtful, it's overwhelming, but it also feels like I've found my purpose. I have this newfound power that I've never truly felt before. Azazel. Power comes with responsibility, Issei. I hope you're ready for the challenges that lies ahead. Issei. I'll do whatever it takes, I mean I have no other choice, I'm even more happy since I didn't lose myself. Azazel. Good, but remember that your power as a dragon is a double-edged sword. It can be a force for good or destruction. Issei, I won't let it consume me. I'll use it to bring about positive change to both myself and those around me, but I can't say the same for my enemies. Azazel. That's the spirit, Issei. You're going to be a remarkable figure, more than you are before in this supernatural world. He said in an impressed tone. Issei. I hope I can live up to your expectations, Azazel-sensei. He placed his hand on Issei's shoulder. Azazel. I have no doubt that you will. But never forget your humanity in the midst of all this power. Issei, I won't, and I still remember all the lessons you've taught me. Azazel. I believe in you, Issei. Embrace your destiny, and remember that I'm here to support you if you ever need guidance. Azazel takes a moment to explain the past events between him and Vali, but the mention of Vali's actions elicits a subtle, determined smirk from Issei, indicating his resolve to confront his rival. Azazel. Somber Issei, I should also tell you about Vali. After your transformation, he's become even more powerful and unpredictable. Issei. Listening intently, what's he been up to, Azazel-sensei? Azazel. He's been involved in various conflicts with his team, let's just say his old team. Issei. I see. Well, it sounds like we'll have a lot to talk about when I meet him. He said with a smirk which worried both Irina and Azazel. Azazel. Issei, I can sense that smirk. You're not planning anything reckless, are you? He said with concern in his voice. Issei. Azazel-sensei, I've changed, and so has he. I need to confront Vali, I can't just let him go for what he's done. Azazel, just promise me you won't let your anger cloud your judgment. Issei. We'll see. Azazel. Oh shit, a monster has been born. Issei expresses his desire to seek additional training and guidance from Tannen, the legendary dragon, to further control his newfound abilities. Issei. Azazel-sensei, I've been thinking. My transformation into a dragon is powerful, but it's also unpredictable. I need more guidance, especially in controlling my abilities. Azazel nodded at Issei's words. Azazel. That's a wise decision, Issei. Tannen is a legendary dragon, and his knowledge and experience could be invaluable. Issei. I want to reach a level of control where I can use my power effectively without endangering those around me, since the power of a dragon can be unpredictable. Azazel. Tannen can help you with that. He's not just a powerful dragon, he's a master in controlling and harnessing draconic abilities. Issei. Yeah, I forgot about that, but maybe not now. Azazel. I can help you with that. I have connections in the supernatural world and I can arrange a meeting with Tannen. Issei. Thank you, Azazel-sensei. This means a lot to me. I want to be the best Red Dragon Emperor I can be. Azazel. And I believe that with Tannen's guidance and your determination, you can achieve that. Their conversation reveals Issei's commitment to honing his powers and Azazel's support in connecting him with Tannen, setting the stage for further growth and training for the Red Dragon Emperor. Irina. Azazel, can I speak with you privately? Azazel nodded. Irina approaches Azazel to discuss her newfound identity as a fallen angel, seeking guidance and understanding. Irina. Azazel-sensei, there's something I need to talk to you about. She sounded nervous. Azazel, of course Irina. What's on your mind? She hesitated before speaking. Irina. I've become a fallen angel. It happened after all the recent events and I don't know how to deal with it. Azazel. Irina, becoming a fallen angel can be a significant change. But it's not the end of the world. How are you feeling about it? Irina. I'm confused. I was once an angel and now I'm something entirely different. I'm afraid I've lost my place. Azazel, you haven't lost your place, Irina. Being a fallen angel means you have a new path to walk. It's all about how you choose to use your newfound abilities and what kind of person you want to become. Irina. But what about heaven? I feel like I've betrayed them. Azazel. Heaven may have its rules and traditions, but ultimately, it's about your convictions. If you believe in the path you've chosen, you're not betraying anyone. You're following your heart. Irina. I don't want to lose my connection to Issei, and I'm worried about what this means for us. She said teary-eyed. Azazel. Irina, love transcends any identity. If you and Issei truly care for each other, this won't change a thing. You'll find a way to make it work. Irina. Thank you Azazel-sensei. She smiled before going back to Issei. Issei. So what did you guys talk about? Irina. Nothing, let's go somewhere else to take our minds off everything that has happened. Issei. You're right, I need some time to relax. Irina and Issei decide to take a break from the intensity of their recent experiences and go on a relaxing, detailed date to unwind and enjoy each other's company. Irina. Smiling Issei, we've been through so much. How about we take a break and just enjoy a nice peaceful day together? Issei. Irina, that sounds like a fantastic idea. A date with you is exactly what I need. He said with a grin. Irina. A date with Issei. She blushed at the mere thought of it. They decide to start their date with a visit to a beautiful park where they can walk hand in hand and admire the serene surroundings. Irina. The park is so lovely this time of year, Issei. The flowers are in full bloom. Issei. It's perfect. Just like you. Irina blushes and gives him a playful nudge. As they stroll through the park, they come across a small ice cream stand and Issei suggests they grab a cone. Issei. Irina, what's your favorite flavor? Irina. I love chocolate and vanilla. Issei orders one chocolate and one vanilla cone, handing Irina the chocolate one with a wink. Irina. Issei, are you trying to spoil me? She said with a small tease. Issei. Absolutely. He chuckled before letting out a bright smile. They sit on a bench, savoring their ice cream and chatting about lighter topics, away from the worries and conflicts of their supernatural lives. Irina. Issei, remember when we first met? When we were kids it feels like a lifetime ago. Issei. Irina, it might have been a wild ride since I thought you were a boy, but I wouldn't change a thing. She giggled. After finishing their ice cream, they decide to visit a local art gallery, appreciating the beauty of the paintings and sculptures. Irina. Art has a way of expressing emotions and stories, doesn't it? Issei, just like us Irina. Our journey has been a masterpiece in its own way. As the day winds down, they have a romantic dinner at a cozy restaurant, lit with soft candlelight. Irina. Issei, I've had such a wonderful time today. Thank you for this date. Issei. Irina, every moment with you is special. I needed this to remind me of the love and joy we share. Their date concludes with a warm and lingering kiss, reminding them that amidst the challenges of their supernatural lives, they can find solace and love in each other's company. Irina bade Issei goodbye before heading home. Issei continued his journey home until he stopped a few meters because he saw the girls in his house. Issei. After what they did they still had the audacity to come near my house. Issei's eyes became slit and talons emerged from his fingers. Greg. Calm down, let's watch first. Issei's parents' anger and disappointment reach a boiling point as they confront the girls for their betrayal. The tense, emotional conversation is long and filled with raw anger and hurt. Father Rias, Akeno, Kaneko, Asia, and Zenobia, how could you do this to our son? He said in a very furious tone. Rias. Mr. Haidu, we made a terrible mistake and we deeply regret it. She said in tears. Mother. Mistake. You shattered our son's heart. This goes far beyond a simple mistake. Her tone was even more cold than Graphy as ice. Father. Our family welcomed you all with open arms and you betrayed us. He said with his voice trembling in anger. Asia. I never wanted to hurt Issei. It was a terrible misunderstanding. Mother. Misunderstanding or not, you've destroyed our trust and we'll never forgive you for that. And you Asia, how could you? You were abandoned and alone and Issei helped you, gave you a home and a family, so this is how you repay him. If I knew this would have happened, I would have chased you out of my house with a knife, you whore. Asia, and you girls, I give you all 5 minutes, pack everything that has to do with you all and get the buck out of my house. Asia fell on her knees in tears. Akeno. Please, we'll do anything to make this right. We never meant for things to turn out this way. She pleaded desperately. Father, anything. Do you think a mere apology can heal the wounds you've inflicted on our family? Kaneko. We don't expect forgiveness, but we will do everything in our power to make amends. She used a solemn tone. Zenobia. We just want Issei to be happy. Mother, you talk about happiness, but you've taken our son's happiness away. He's suffering because of you. She spoke to them with disdain. Father. We disown Asia. The only person who truly cares about my son is Irina, only her is allowed into this house, have I made myself clear? Rias, I understand, Mr. and Mrs. Haidu, we'll all leave sir. Issei's parents' anger and disappointment cut deep and the girls are met with fierce resistance and disapproval. The emotional intensity of the confrontation is palpable, leaving a rift in their relationships that may never fully heal. Issei. Thank God, oh I can say his name again. After several minutes he entered his home seeing his sobbing mom and his dad consoling her. Issei. Mom, she looked at Issei. Using illusions he used it to make his eyes hazel just the hair was still seen. Father. Issei, you changed your haircut. Mom. It looks good on you. Issei. Mom, please don't cry. After the emotional confrontation with the girls and disowning Asia, Issei takes it upon himself to console his deeply depressed parents. Issei sat down with his parents. Issei, Mom, Dad, I understand that you're hurting, and so am I. But we're a family, and we can get through this together. Father. Issei, we're just so disappointed and angry about what happened. He said with his voice plagued by grief. Issei. I know, Dad. I'm angry too, but I don't want this anger to tear our family apart. I love you both. Mother. Issei, you're our son, and we love you more than anything. It's just hard to see you hurt. Issei. I appreciate your love and concern, but we need to find a way to heal from this. I've made some decisions, and I want to be responsible for my own life. Mother. You want to move out, Issei, please don't go. His mom pleaded. Issei. I'm not moving, Mom, I just want to make decisions. Father. What kind of decisions, Issei? Issei. I plan to take control of my own destiny and not let the actions of others define my future. I want to be strong and protect the people I care about, including both of you. Mother. We want you to be happy, Issei. But we don't want to see you hurt again. Issei. I understand, Mom, I've tried my best to heal, sure it still hurt, but I'm slowly healing, and Irina is helping me. I'll do my best to protect myself and the people I love. But I also want to show you that we can overcome this together. Issei's parents, though still hurt and confused, begin to see their son's determination and resilience. They may not fully embrace his decisions, but they begin to realize that the love and strength of their family bond can help them navigate the challenges they face. It was late at night and Issei texted Kiba and Gasper to talk to each other. Issei, seeking the support and company of his friends, decides to meet with Kiba and Gasper to catch up and discuss recent events. Issei, hey, Kiba, Gasper. It's been a while. How have you guys been? He said with a friendly smile different from the Issei of several hours ago. Kiba. Issei, it's good to see you. We've all been through a lot recently. He nodded. Gasper. Yeah, it's been quite the rollercoaster, hasn't it? He said in a nervous but friendly tone. They find a quiet corner in a local cafe and start talking about everything that's happened. Issei. I've changed, guys. I've become an actual dragon. It's been a tumultuous journey. Kiba. We've heard about your transformation, Issei. It's a big responsibility and I still find it hard to believe. Gasper. But we're here for you and we'll support you no matter what. Issei. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. How have you been handling everything in your lives? Kiba and Gasper share their experiences and challenges, discussing the growth and changes they've gone through. Issei. It's good to hear that you're both doing well, despite all the chaos. Kiba. We've learned a lot from our experiences, just like you. But Issei, I wish you never had to go through those kind of things. I apologize on their behalf, but after what happened we may never be the same again. Issei. I get it, Gasper. And we're always here for you, Issei. Their conversation is filled with a mix of reminiscing, discussing their transformations and responsibilities, and reaffirming their strong bond of friendship. Chapter 5. Going to train. Issei looked at Roswis, his gaze steady despite the turmoil of emotions he'd been through. Issei. Roswis, I know things have been difficult lately, and I appreciate your concern, but I'm pretty much done, he said taking a sip of water. Roswis, her voice slurred with alcohol, leaned in closer. Roswis. You don't understand. It's not just difficult, it's infuriating. I can't believe what they did to you, to us. She said in her drunken state. Issei nodded somberly. MK. Issei, I never thought they would betray me like this, especially Rias and Akeno. But I'm not the same Issei anymore. I've become something more, better. I guess I was completely different from last week. Roswis's anger flared. Roswis, that's precisely it, Issei. You've transformed into this magnificent dragon, and instead of standing by your side, they turned to Vali. Vali, of all people. Issei sighed deeply. Issei, I know it hurts, Roswis. It hurts me too. But we can't change the past. I've been trying to find myself, to come to terms with this new power and responsibility. Maybe they didn't know how to handle it. Roswis's cheeks were flushed from the alcohol, but her eyes were filled with determination. Roswis. Issei, that's not an excuse. We've been through so much together, fought countless battles, and faced unimaginable odds. If they couldn't stand by you in your time of transformation, then maybe they weren't worth it. Issei's eyes softened as he considered her words. Issei, I've always admired your strength, Roswis. You've been a pillar of support for me. But you're right, I'll be going to meet Tannen tomorrow. Roswis's anger subsided, replaced by a sense of empathy. Roswis, I understand, Issei. I do. But they hurt you, and it's not just about them. It's about us too, the way they've torn us apart. We deserve better, Issei. Issei reached out, gently placing his hand on Roswis's. He smiled. Issei, you're right. We do deserve better. And I promise you, I won't let this define our future. We'll find a way to heal, to move forward, together. Roswis gave a faint smile despite her flushed face, her anger dissipating. Roswis believe in you, Issei. I believe in us. We'll overcome this, no matter what. As the night continued, Issei and Roswis shared more about their hopes and dreams, finding solace in each other's company and a renewed determination to face the challenges ahead. Roswis. I wish you were my boyfriend, she said before succumbing to the alcohol as she fell asleep snoring loudly. Issei. She's joking, right? Greg. I don't know, he chuckled. As Roswis leapt, a group of menacing-looking thugs began to approach her. Issei, his eyes narrowing, confronted them with a commanding presence. Ugh 1. Hey, look at that girl. She's all alone. Maybe we can have some fun. Issei, his voice low and intimidating. Issei, back off. You don't want to mess with her. Ugh 2. Who do you think you are, telling us what to do? He said, trying to act tough. Issei's dragon aura flared, sending a shiver down their spines. Issei, I'm someone you don't want to cross. Leave now, or you'll regret it. Ugh 2. Let's get out of here, guys. This isn't worth it. He said in a trembling tone. They quickly retreated, realizing that Issei's aura was far more formidable than they had anticipated. Roswis remained safe, thanks to his protective vigilance. He carried her and took her to her apartment, using her keys he gently tucked her into bed. Before he could leave she embraced him. Issei. Roswis, just sleep, you need to rest. Roswis. Please Issei, don't go. He sighed before hugging her back. Issei. I'll never leave you, Rossi. He kissed her forehead as she went back to sleep. Issei got back home and fell asleep. He woke up to meet Irina by his side, sleeping on top of him, drooling with only her panties revealing her chest. Issei blushed before looking away. Issei. Irina. He gently woke her up. Issei. Irina. What are you doing here? Irina, good morning, Issei. I wanted to see you before you leave to meet Tannen. She smiled softly. Issei reached out, taking her hand. Issei. I'm glad you're here. I've been feeling a bit nervous about this training. I trained with him as a devil, but now as a dragon. Irina, you'll do great, Issei. I have faith in you. Plus, I know Tannen is an excellent mentor. Issei, I know, but it's still a big step. Becoming a dragon and all, it's overwhelming. Irina. I can only imagine. But I know you'll handle it like you always do, with courage and determination. Issei, thanks Irina. You always know how to boost my confidence. Irina. Well, that's my job as your girlfriend, right? She said with a red face. Issei. Right, I'm going to miss you, though. She embraced him. Issei. I'll miss you too, Issei. But this is an incredible opportunity and I wouldn't want you to miss it. Issei. I promise I'll come back even stronger and we'll continue to spend more time together. Irina looked into his eyes. Irina, I believe in you, Issei. And I'll be right here, waiting for you. Issei, I love you, Irina. Irina, I love you too, Issei. Now go and show Tannen what you're made of. Issei. She's amazing. Greg. Yes, she is. Issei, you know, Irina, I think I should make breakfast today. Irina, oh, really? And why is that, Issei? Issei nuzzled her neck. Issei, well, because I want to treat my amazing girlfriend to a delicious meal before I go. Irina blushed at his statement. Irina, you're sweet, Issei, but how about I make breakfast for you? It's the least I can do before you embark on this journey. Issei pulled her closer. Issei. Irina, you know I love your cooking, but let me do this for you. It's a way to show my appreciation. Irina. Alright, fine. But only if you promise to come back to me safely. Issei, I promise, Irina. Now, what would you like for breakfast? As they lovingly debate over who should make breakfast, their affection for each other shines through. Issei gave her a kiss before she left for school, leaving Issei to pack his things. As Issei prepares to leave for his training with Tannen, he's reassured by Irina's support and love, knowing he has someone to come back to after this transformative experience. The magic circle appeared, revealing Serziches and Grafia. Serziches and Grafia, having learned about the situation with Rias, Asia, Kaneko, Zenobia and Akeno, decided to confront Issei about the matter. Serziches, with a serious expression, addressed Issei. Serziches, Issei, we've heard about the recent events regarding Rias, Asia, Kaneko, Zenobia and Akeno. We've talked to them, how do you feel? He said in a brotherly voice. Issei, feeling a mix of frustration and pain, took a deep breath. Issei, I found out they were involved with Vali behind my back. It's been difficult for me to come to terms with, but I'm okay I guess as long as they don't come anywhere near me. Grafia, her tone gentle but probing, inquired. Grafia, Issei, do you know the reasons behind their actions? I still don't understand why they would do such a thing. Issei. I haven't had a chance to speak to them directly. I thought we were a team, a family, and I never expected this kind of betrayal, but yet I don't care, they've made their choice, and I've made mine, but one thing is for sure, I'll never ever forgive them, no matter how much they tried. Serziches. We understand your feelings, Issei. Just know that even after all this you are still my little brother, and if there's anything going on that you need my help, I'll try my best to assist you." Issei nodded, realizing that maybe there were aspects he hadn't considered. "Issei, you're right. I want to know the truth and resolve this, but it's been hard to deal with. Grafia will support you in finding answers, Issei. You're not alone in this, and we'll work through it together." Grafia. Ria's made a stupid decision. We've replaced her pawn pieces, but she has a raiding game coming up with Serg in the next few months. Issei. "Well, I wish her the best then," he said with no emotion laced in his voice. "Serziches. I heard you are no longer a pervert, but what about your show? The underworld doesn't know that you are no longer a devil." Issei. "I'm not really sure, but since people like it can still go on, I guess." Serziches. "We told your parents that you would be going on a small trip. I hope after all these you would still see me as your older brother." Issei. "Of course, it was only my relationship with the girls that changed." He smiled. Serziches smiled before taking his leave alongside Grafia. Issei and Drake had embarked on a journey to the underworld via train, their destination set for Issei's upcoming training with Tannen, the Dragon King. The rhythmic sound of the train's wheels on the tracks provided a soothing backdrop to the conversation they were about to have. Issei, gazing out of the window, watched as the scenery shifted from the human realm into the mystical and mysterious underworld. Issei. "Drake, it feels like it's been ages since we've had a moment like this, just you and me. With all the chaos that's been happening, I haven't had time to catch up with you." Drake. "Indeed, Issei. It's good to have this opportunity to talk and reflect. This journey is significant for you. Training with Tannen is a crucial step in understanding and mastering your power as a dragon." As the train rolled on, Issei's thoughts turned to the intense battles and challenges he had faced since becoming a dragon. He had always sought strength, but now, he was realizing the responsibilities that came with it. Issei. "You know, Drake, I've come to understand that strength isn't just about raw power. It's about the responsibility that comes with it. I want to be strong, not just for my own sake, but to protect those I care about." Drake. "Issei, that's an admirable goal. Your power as a dragon has the potential to bring great change, but it's how you use that power that defines you as a true hero." Issei nodded, a sense of determination filling his eyes. Issei. "I already made a plan on what I'm going to do now. I'm going to find a way to see if a fallen angel can become an angel again, and I won't stop till I've achieved it." Drake. "For Irina, write your strength as your shield, Issei. It's not just for offense but for defense as well. And your unwavering determination to protect those close to you is a testament to your character." Issei. "Back then it was the more perverted I become." As the landscape outside the train window shifted, Issei's mind turned to the complicated situation with his friends who had betrayed him by getting involved with Vali. Issei. "There's another aspect, Drake. I can't ignore what happened with the others. Their actions still bother me. I know we've been through so much, but I never expected them to turn their backs on me." Drake, his tone filled with understanding. Drake. "Issei, people can make mistakes, even those we care deeply about. It's a part of life. What's important is how you choose to move forward." Issei. "I want to find a way to bring understanding and resolution. I want them to realize there would never ever be a chance of us ever being together, even if it's just as friends." Drake, with a supportive nod. Drake. "It's not idealistic, Issei. It's a sign of your maturity and strength. Reconciliation is a noble goal. Sometimes, hardships can ultimately strengthen the bonds we share." As Issei and Drake continued their journey on the train to the underworld, Issei contemplated his growth and the evolution of his powers. It was a subject that had been on his mind for quite some time. Issei. "You know, Drake, I've come a long way from the days when my power came from perverted thoughts and lewd fantasies. Back then, I was pretty single-minded, but now, my motivation has shifted." Drake, nodding in agreement. Drake. "Yes, Issei. Your motivations have evolved, and with them, your strength has grown immensely." Issei. "I've realized that true strength isn't derived from perverted fantasies or shallow desires. It's about caring deeply for something, being determined, and never giving up, no matter what." Drake. "Absolutely, Issei. The power that comes from conviction and unwavering determination is far greater and more enduring. It's the mark of a true hero." Issei. "That's what I've been striving for. I want my strength to be rooted in my love and dedication to my friends, Irina and my parents, in my commitment to protect them, and in my unyielding resolve." Drake, with a hint of pride in his voice. Drake. "Issei, you've already demonstrated the potential of such power. You've become a symbol of courage and unwavering determination, and that's something to be proud of." As they continued their journey, Issei's thoughts were filled with the changes he had undergone, both as a person and as a dragon. He knew that his quest for true strength and his commitment to protecting those he loved would only continue to drive him forward, and he was ready to embrace the challenges that lay ahead. As the train continued its journey into the depths of the underworld, Issei turned to Drake with a resolute expression. Issei. "Under Tannen's guidance, I hope to not only harness my power, but also find the inner peace and clarity I seek. Only then can I hope to mend the bonds that have been strained. Dreg. Your journey will be both physical and spiritual, Issei. With your determination and the wisdom of the Dragon King, I believe you'll find what you're looking for. The train finally reached its destination, and Issei and Dreg disembarked, ready to face the challenges of Issei's training and the uncertain future. Their lengthy and profound dialogue reflected the journey that lay ahead, not only in mastering Issei's newfound abilities, but also in healing the bonds with his friends and finding inner balance and peace. Timeskip. Issei had been eagerly anticipating his meeting with Tannen, the Dragon King, as he and Dreg embarked on their journey to the underworld. After a considerable train ride, they finally arrived at the designated location where Tannen was to meet them. As they disembarked from the train, Issei couldn't hide his excitement. The prospect of learning from a legendary figure like Tannen was both thrilling and humbling. They waited, and soon, a powerful presence made itself known as Tannen approached them. Tannen, towering and majestic in his dragon form, greeted Issei with a nod. Tannen. Dreg, welcome to the underworld. Azazel has told me everything. Issei, slightly awestruck but also determined, replied. Issei Tannen, it's great to see you again. I'm here to learn, to understand this power I've been given, and to become a better dragon. Tannen. That's the spirit, Issei. Dragon power is not just about raw strength, it's about balance, control, and a deep connection with the world around you. We have much to cover during your training. Issei. I'm ready, Tannen. I want to harness this power, not just for my sake, but to protect those I care about and to find inner peace. Dreg, with a sense of pride in his voice. Dreg. Tannen, Issei has come a long way. He's grown not just in strength but in character, and he's ready for this training. Tannen, a hint of approval in his eyes. Tannen, that's good to hear. Issei, our journey begins now. We'll start with the basics, understanding the essence of your power and how it connects to the world around you. As the training sessions began, Issei absorbed Tannen's wisdom, learning not just about the mechanics of his dragon abilities, but also the philosophy behind them. They delved into the concept of balance, harmony, and the connection between a dragon and the world. Days turned into weeks as Issei embraced each lesson with determination. Issei. Tannen, I've learned so much, not just about my power but about myself and my place in the world. I'm grateful for this opportunity. Tannen. Issei, your growth has been remarkable. Your journey is far from over, but you're well on your way to mastering your abilities and finding the peace you seek. Issei, his eyes filled with gratitude, looked toward the future with a renewed sense of purpose. Issei, I know there are challenges ahead, but I'm ready. I won't give up, and I'll use this power for the right reasons. Tannen. That's the spirit of a true dragon, Issei. With your determination and newfound wisdom, you'll continue to grow and protect those you care about. Their lengthy and profound dialogue continued as Issei, Dreg, and Tannen shared their experiences, knowledge, and a deep understanding of the power and responsibility that came with being a dragon. The training was not just about harnessing abilities, but also about finding inner strength and balance in a world full of challenges and uncertainties. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown in left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.